If you are getting ready to start your Faire business, I'm going to share a few tips today that I think are very important before you start your journey selling on Faire. And these are things that are just going to make your life a little bit easier if you start out knowing these few tips before you start selling on Faire. I'm not going to talk a ton about Faire and why I love wholesale because I have a ton of videos on this channel explaining all of that. So I want to get right into these tips. The first tip I have is knowing your profit. And this is probably the most important tip because with all of the extra fees on Faire, you can start to dwindle away your profit. So when you are searching for products and starting to source products and selling products on Faire, you really need to pay close attention to this. You need to go through the Faire back end and you need to go through all of the fees that are charged on Faire. Now, once you take all of those fees out, which is your payout fees and normal credit card fees, you also have the fees when a retailer buys product from you. Take all of those fees out. And I also want to make sure that when you are getting ready to figure your pricing on Faire, you are taking into account the price of a box or a bag, the price of packing tape, the price of labor, price of a shipping label. All of these things do add up. And so when you are selling on Faire, you want to make sure that you have all of these little, even small costs built in to your product because your profit can dwindle away very quickly. So you need to sit down, make a list of every single thing that you have in the cost of your product. I know a lot of people who sell on Faire and find out 6 months or a year down the road that they're not actually making money because they didn't have all of their costs figured. So this number one step is super important. There is nothing more discouraging than selling products and realizing that you're not making profit. And after 10 plus years doing what I've been doing, I have had many times where I have figured and refigured costs and forgotten things and ended up just not making anything on my product. And that is such a discouraging feeling. So really sit down, make that list, and make sure that you have your profit figured out. The second tip that I want to mention, and this is an obvious tip, but make sure that you are prepared to have inventory. And when I say this, I want you to sit down and figure out an ordering schedule, figure out how long it takes to manufacture your product, to ship your product. And that can include, if you are shipping from overseas, that can include shipping by boat, shipping by air. That make sure that you have your times down of how long it takes to manufacture and ship your item so that you can keep your item in stock. And this is a little bit hard in the beginning when you don't know how much product is going to be selling out of your shop. And if you're selling handmade items, this is obviously easier, but when you are ordering and shipping product, this can get a little bit hairy. So make sure that you have this schedule down and you can stay on top of keeping inventory in your shop. Just to show you an example of this, I'm going to put up my Faire numbers from January 1st, 2025 through April 23rd, 2025. Now you can see I did over $6,000 in sales, and what you can't see, I had 24 sales during this time. And now I'm going to show you this same exact time frame in 2026. As you can see, my sales have tanked. I only have done about $2,000 worth of sales in 2026, and I've only had 11 orders this year. And that is completely due to not having inventory. I have been sold out of my best sellers since December, and part of this is by design. I'm just in a phase in my life right now where I have a ton going on, and I wanted to kind of slow my business so that I didn't have that added on top of everything else. Now, this is fine to do if you are not needing the income and you're purposely doing this for a short period of time in your business. And for me, being a seasonal business, it's not as dire as if I was a year-round business. I definitely wouldn't recommend doing this if you have a year-round business, but with my bulk of my sales being September through December, this isn't as bad. And this is why I did a seasonal business, because I knew I would have these busy moments where I would need to take breaks. But this is just to show you that you've got to be prepared and you've got to be able to keep inventory in stock. Now, I've had 4 to 5 people reach out to me and ask when I'm getting more stock in. I do have more coming. I don't really want to start picking up sales until the middle of June. I just have a ton of life events until about the middle of June that are keeping me incredibly busy, so much stress, and I want to be able to focus 100% on family right now and things going on in my life. So I have just let them know that things will be back in stock the middle of June. I apologize, and I move along. Now again, year-round business, I do not recommend this. So again, that's where I always talk about make sure that your business fits your lifestyle. And this is why my business fits my lifestyle right now. The third thing is variety. And I had someone reach out to me on YouTube and had me look at their Faire shop and just asked if I could give them any advice on their shop. And they were selling a t-shirt and it had one phrase on it. And they had set up maybe 15 different listings with the exact same t-shirt, just different colors. And that's gonna be really tricky. I mean, is it doable? Absolutely. If you have a really great product and you wanna sell one SKU, it can be done. But you've gotta have a really great product, I feel like, and really unique photography. Just, I think there's so many things that have to go into being able to sell one SKU. And in essence, that's what they were doing. They were selling one SKU. And my top advice was to get some different t-shirt designs, get some different variety in shirts that you sell. You've got to have a little bit of variety in your shop to pull people in. And also you need to keep adding variety to your shop. You need to keep adding new things to your shop in order to keep people coming back. Stores do not want to just keep stocking the same item. Now, this doesn't apply if, say for instance, I had a clothing business, which I did have, and I sold basics. I sold tank tops and t-shirts that were just basics. And those people will keep coming back for over and over. But when you're selling unique items to gift shops, they do not want the exact same inventory every single time. Now, you can sell, again, items that people use and reuse, and they'll buy them a few times. But having variety is very important for your customers. One thing that I did want to mention that kind of fits under the umbrella of both inventory and profit is when you are figuring your profit on Faire, what I like to do is I like to figure my shipping cost as high as possible, which means when I'm figuring what I'm going to sell a product for on Faire, I figure in air shipping because that is the most expensive. So if I am in the beginning of November and my best-selling product sells out and I want to get more here ASAP, I need to air ship that. And I need to have that cost already built into the price so that I know I can get that product here and I can still make a profit on it, even though I'm paying more expensive shipping. So when you're figuring that profit margin, make sure that you are figuring the most expensive shipping and getting that product to you. Just a little tidbit that I wanted to mention. The last thing that I wanted to talk about is order minimums. And this can be a little bit tricky on Faire. Now, I am a Faire wholesale seller. I am also a Faire wholesale buyer. So I have a separate account for buying at wholesale. And the thing that I realized is that it's really not that difficult for people to get a Faire wholesale account. At least it wasn't when I signed up and got mine, when I signed up to get a wholesale buying account. And it's interesting because I can go in and a lot of places on there will only have their order minimum set at one item, or, they'll have a $50 minimum total order cost, something like that. And it's really easy just for a person to come in and just buy items for themselves and not actually retail it in a store. And I wanted to prevent that when I started selling on Faire. I didn't want just someone to come in and be able to buy my products for their own personal use. I really wanted to make sure the people that were buying from my shop were stores that wanted to sell the inventory. And that's a decision that you have to make. You have to make the decision of whether you care if people just come in and buy one-offs of your product. Do you care more about pushing the product out and selling the product, or do you care more about selling in volume and selling to stores. And I really cared about selling to stores. So I do have my order minimum set at $150 and my reorder set at $150. I used to have my minimum per item set at 5, and I did lower that to 3 because I had a couple shops reach out to me that wanted to buy my items, but they couldn't handle buying 5 of each item. And I did question for smaller shops if I wasn't getting as many sales because I had my order minimum set at 5. Now, again, you have to decide what kind of shops you are trying to attract. And I don't mind having my products in smaller mom and pop shops. I like the idea of that. So I did lower my order minimum per item to 3. And you can set that to whatever you want. You can play around with it. You can have a higher minimum and then lower it. But it is something to keep in mind. I used to have a hair salon in a very small town, and I could have never gone on to Faire and bought 5 of something because we lived in a very small town and there just wasn't that many people to sell to. So I understand the problem that shop owners have in not being able to buy that many for a minimum. And I really wanted to help and support those types of shop owners also. These were just a few tips to help you get started on your Faire journey. I hope that this video was helpful, and good luck starting your Faire store, or if you have a Faire store, I hope it is going well, and I hope these tips are helping you. So if you have any questions, please reach out in the comments below, and have an amazing day.